We all go to our local casino to try to beat the casino and walk away a winner. Well, the casino doesn't play a fair game. They adjust the math so the game is always in their favor to win. So why would we play a game where the casino is always going to win in the long term? Well, we can win if we beat the odds. First, let's talk about how the casino adjusts the math of the game so that they always win in the long term. All right, before we get to the dice, which are a little more complicated, let's start with something a little more simple. A simple game of heads or tails. I don't have a coin, so I'm going to use my puck here, so on and off. This is a game of 50-50 chance, right? There's one way to win and one way to lose, depending on which you choose. So let's say you go to the casino to play the game of heads or tails and you bring $200 to gamble with. Well, the casino, they have their $200 just in case you lose both games, but they also have a whole bunch of money in the back room or in their safe or whatever, right? So they got a whole bunch back in reserve. So if the casino offered you a fair game, this is what it would look like. You would bet $100, and if you won the coin flip, they would pay you $100. That seems pretty cool, right? Well, if you bet the $100 and you lose, you would lose your $100. Okay, that seems fair, you know, it is gambling after all. So notice how that works. Let's say you're betting on heads, I flip it, it lands on off, we lose our bet. So our bet that we made, we actually lose to the casino. Okay, no problem, we'll bet again. This time we win, so we win our bet back. Look, now we have our original money back. This would be a fair game or a fair bet. But guess what? The casino doesn't offer a fair game in the casino. They're a for-profit business, and business is good. So how does the game work? Let's take, if they did play heads or tails in the casino, this is how it would work. If you bet $100 and you lose that bet, they would take the bet. If you bet the $100 and you win, they would pay you, well, they wouldn't pay you $100. What they would do is actually probably make some change. In this case, let's say, make some change here, and they will pay you $95. So if the casino wins, they take all of your money. If you win, they don't pay you fair. They take a small percentage out. So look at this. Now, you've both won an equal amount of times. You've got 195, so you're actually down $5. And the casino, they're actually up $5, even though you both won the fair amount of times. They've collected 5%. So this $5 or 5% is the casino's house edge. Way to explain this is the casino's expected profit per bet. So every time you bet, they expect to win 5% in this particular game. Now, depending on what you play in the casino, roulette, other games, blackjack, the craps, here we're going to look at craps, all kinds of different bets with all kinds of different percentages. So a lot of times you hear about best bets or worst bets. You know, some bets, they only keep, 1.5%. Some bets, they keep over 16%. So again, you lose, they keep it all. If you win, they only pay you back and they keep a percentage. So it's pretty unfair, but that's how they make their money. These small percentages, in some cases, big percentages. So how do we beat the casino? Well, there's ways to do it. Let's say we bring $200 to the casino. All right, the first time we lose the bet. That's understandable, that happens. Well, we're gonna bet again. The second time we win our bet. Well, remember, they're not gonna pay us 100, they're only gonna pay us 95. So we are actually losing $5. But let's say we bet again, $100, and we win again. So we get paid 100. In this case, we've beat the odds. We've only played 3 games, but we won 2 out of the 3. Now, because there was only 3, we couldn't exactly divide the game 1.5, because if we did, if the casino won 1.5 games and you won 1.5 games, remember, a tie, they're always gonna win. But if we can beat the odds, and in this case we did, we won 2 out of the 3 games, we're gonna come out ahead. We came in with 200, now we have 290. Now the more and more and more rolls that you play this game of heads or tails, the more likely according to math, that you'll break even at 50-50. You can certainly get on a swing or a trend or whatever you want to call it and win more than the casino, and that's why we gamble, right? The short term, we certainly can beat the odds and come out ahead. So that's what we're looking for. So how does the casino always win in the long term? So let me get back to that. Remember the stack back here? Well, we only brought $200 to the casino. If we were to lose both these games, we're out of money, we're going back home, we're going to the ATM, we come back next weekend, next month, whatever the case may be. If the casino wins, if the casino loses both times, oh, you're doing great. But a lot of times the players don't walk away, so they'll gamble, and guess what? Well, the casino has plenty in reserve that they can keep going. So what do we have? We have $1,000, $5,000, $10,000. Maybe we have $100,000 in the bank that we can play with. Guess what the casino has? Millions of dollars. They know over time, as long as they can win or not pay you fairly, they keep that percentage, they will come out in head because they're not going to run out of money. You're going to run out of money, they're not going to run out of money. The other thing to consider is there's all kinds of players. So let's say you do win both your games and you decide, hey, I'm gonna walk away, I'm a big winner. There's no way the casino can survive with me taking my winnings and going home. Well, you have to remember the other 99 players, a lot of them are losing because the game is in the casino's advantage. So as long as they're collecting percentage from all those other players, they're doing just fine. There's a reason that they're collecting record profits to date. Even this last month, they just broke another record of collecting profit. The coin flip's easy, there's only two outcomes. Heads or tails. Well, with dice, and we play the game of craps with 2 dice, there are actually 36 different combinations. I set out a 12 here. Let's go ahead and look at that 12. So with the 12, there's actually only one way to make this combination. So let's say, we'll put a chip out there of one way to represent it. So if there's 36 total combinations, how many ways are there to lose? Well, there are 35 ways to lose. So if I take these 2 dice, shake them up and roll them, there's only a 1 in 36 chance, or the odds are 35 to 1. So to make this a fair bet, anytime you bet $1, the casino should pay you $35 if you win, because that's the odds of the game, 35 to 1. That would be a fair game. So if you rolled the dice 36 times and you rolled a 12 at least once, let's say you bet $1 every single time. The one time you win, you'd win 35. At the end of 36 rolls, you would have broken even. It's a break-even game. Guess what? Remember what I told you, the casino does not play fair. So you'll notice right over here, here's a bet on the 12. We actually can bet on the 12. So we make a $1 bet on the 12. If we roll that 12, do you think they pay us $35? No. As you see right here, they only pay us $30. They keep $5. That's their commission, that's their VIG, that is their house edge. All right, let's take a look at another number. Let's take a look at the number 7. Now there are multiple ways. There's actually, out of all the dice combinations, I'll show you a chart here, there's more ways to roll the 7 than any other number, and that's why the game of craps is based off of, or is around the 7. There are actually 6 ways to roll a 7. So if I shake these up, 6 times out of 36, I should roll a 7. So if there's 6 ways to win, there are 30 ways to lose. So the odds, you could reduce those down, are 1 to 5. 5 ways to lose, 1 way to win. So if you make a $1 bet that a 7 is going to roll, they should pay you $5. That would be a fair bet. But look right over here, if you make a bet on that 7, they don't pay you 5. They're going to make some change here, and they are only going to pay you $4 if you win. So remember, if you lose that bet, they take the whole thing. If you win that bet, they don't pay you fair. They're not going to pay you the true odds. They're going to pay you $4 to 1. Now the key to all this is to know your dice probabilities, or how many ways a certain number can roll. And everything is based or is against the 7. So let's say we make a place bet on the 4, right? So first we need to know how many ways there are to roll a 4. Well, I'm going to use these chips here, but there are 3 ways to roll the number 4, or 3 different combinations. So what would cause a bet on the 4 to lose? Well, a 4 we win, a 7 we lose. How many ways to roll a 7? There are 6 ways to roll a 7. So the true odds are 6 to 3. Or you could just reduce that down 2 to 1. So if you bet 1, you should win 2. Here we have a bet of 10. If we bet 10, we should win 20. They don't pay us 20 though. That's the true odds, 20 to 10 or 2 to 1. But instead, they pay us for a place bet on the 4, they pay you 9 to 5. So instead of 20, they pay you 18. So that difference, that $2 they keep on this $10 bet, that's their house edge. So you could do the same with all the different numbers. As long as you know the dice combinations, you can figure out what are the true odds and what would be the fair bet or the fair amount that they should pay me, and then what do they actually pay me. They're always going to short you. Now there are some exceptions to that. I said they always short you, and technically they do, but let me talk about a couple little things that will kind of complicate things, but hopefully in the learning process you'll learn a little more about the game. Let's go back to this 4. A lot of times you'll make a place bet, but on the numbers they'll also allow you to make what's called a buy bet. So it's a little bit different bet. You just get paid differently. So in this case, we'll set up a $20 buy bet versus a $20 place bet on the 4. Now, if this wins, we have $20. We should win $40 because the true odds are 2 to 1. But we're not going to win $20. They're going to pay you 9 to 5 for this bet. So they're going to pay you $36 for your place bet. Now with a buy bet, they actually pay you the true odds, but they tell you up front that they're going to keep a percentage of the bet. And in this case of a buy bet, it's going to be 5%. So what they do is say, you know what, that $20, we're actually going to pay you $40 or 2 to 1, but we're going to keep 5% of the bet. So 5% of $20 is $1. So instead of paying you $40, we're going to pay you $39. Remember, the place bet paid you $36, the buy bet paid you $39, and really it's just a difference of asking the dealers to make it a buy bet versus a place bet. But they still take their percentage, and in this case they tell you up front, yeah, we'll pay you the true odds, we'll pay you a fair amount, but we're going to keep 5% of whatever you bet. So that's one example where they pay you the true odds, but they tell you up front, hey, we're going to keep 5%. Now let's talk about one other bet, and it's pretty much the most popular. Now anytime, the most basic part of the game is to make a bet on the pass line bet. Once there is a point established, that's the first roll of the game, or a come out roll, and let's stick with the 4 just because it makes it easy. Our point is 4. Our pass line bet is now a bet on the 4. I'm not going to get into how the pass line bet pays, but it just always pays 1 to 1. The casino is going to allow you to make what's called an odds bet behind your pass line bet. This is a great additional bet because they actually pay you the true odds. In this case, it's the 4. Remember, the 4, 3 ways to roll versus 6 ways to lose, or 3 ways to win, 6 ways to lose, they should pay you 2 to 1. So if you have a $30 bet and you roll that 4, what do you get paid? You actually do get paid 2 to 1. A completely fair bet, and the only one like it in the whole casino. The catch is you're not allowed to make a line bet or an odds bet unless you first make a losing pass line bet. So if you're going to make an additional bet, yes, the odds bet, amazing bet, best bet in the casino, but don't think you're outsmarting the casino by getting paid fairly for your bet, because the casino goes, they're still going to get their money here on the line bet. Now, in theory, the odds bet shouldn't be an advantage for the casino, but the player in the casino should break even over time. You won't win or lose any money over time, and neither will the casino win or lose money over time. But remember, I told you that the casino always has a ton of money in reserve. Well, if you come and have a little losing streak, they're going to outlast you, and they're going to outlast all the players. They always do. So even though the players may get in on a streak of winning this coin flip and walking away with, you know, more money for any given hour or day, the casino, with their big bankroll, their big amount of money in reserves, know more people are going to lose than win. So again, how do you win at the casino? You've got to beat the odds. If the odds here are 2 to 1, you've got to be winning more than that. You've got to be winning 3 out of every 4. Because if you're breaking even, if you're only winning 2 out of every 2, you're going to be losing money. So all these bets, you just got to calculate what the odds are, and then you've got to beat those odds. Long term though, because the casino has major amounts of money in reserve and they don't pay us fairly, they do win in the long run, but we certainly can take advantage of any short-term variations or trends or winning of the rolls and beat the odds. So hey, what do you think about this video? Let me know down in the comments if you have any questions, anything I didn't explain. Hopefully I tried to make it as simple as possible. It's kind of a complicated topic, but hopefully with this knowledge, it will help you color up at the casino.